Hey everyone. Many of you know who I am, obviously, if you're watching this and know me personally, either through just personal life or as a client. You all know that I'm a life coach and I love being a life coach. I love everything about it. And one of the reasons, I think about why did I choose this? Because I think that every one of us needs to really sit down and reassess what we're doing and why we're doing it. And for me, it always does come back to the same thing. And I say this, I'm really glad that it does, because if it didn't, I don't think I would be cut out for this job. And I know that there are other coaches that are more financially successful than I am. They're very bedazzled, they're very put together, and I admire them because their tenacity is admirable. They are able to pull things off that I just don't have the talent and I don't have the patience for. So God bless them for that. So, what makes me different? Obviously, other than I kind of have the ghetto fabulous version of marketing. So, why do I do what I do? I do what I do because I have lived a life that has taught me so many things. I have had a bazillion blessings. I have struggled enormously. I have had things happen to me that were totally beyond my control, that during times in my life that formed me right into an adult, that became kind of rewired my brain, things like that. And then as an adult, yes, things don't happen to me, but more often, as is the case, I made choices that happened to me, right? So the combination is a life that's full of crazy random things sometimes. And I often think, I go to God and I'm like, I don't understand why. Why me? Why me? And when I say why me, it's very rarely with sadness, sometimes frustration, sometimes sadness, but mostly it's I have such an odd account. My life is just odd. From the things that I experienced that were beyond my control to the choices that I made, and then the consequences, both good and bad. So I realized that all of these things put together really put me in a unique situation to be able to help others. When I tell you that there's very, very little that I either have not experienced myself or that I have not experienced through someone close to me, I am not shocked by anything. I'm not offended by anything. I have an extreme compassion for people because I've been there. And I think because I've been there, I'm not afraid of going through it again, because now, I can help be a light and a guide for those who are seeking help. And so one of the things that I say is, I meet you where you are. And I've always said that. I meet you where you are. I don't expect you to meet me where I'm at, because I'm in a different place. I meet you where you are. I revisit some of those places with you. And I have no fear in that. And I mean that. And I love doing that because I have the insight. I have the experience. And then, of course, I have my education at this point as well to help you navigate those things. But I really thought about it because it's yes, I meet you where you are. And I came across in some of my Bible studies is 2 Corinthians 1 verses 3 through 4. And it says, "Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of mercies and God of all comfort, who comforts us in all our tribulation, that we may be able to comfort those who are in any trouble with the comfort with which we ourselves are comforted by God." And I cried. This was last night. I read this. It was just over the course of just doing another study. And I probably read this before. I know I've read this before, but I'd never registered. But when I say I meet you where you are, one of the things that, and again, my faith is profoundly important to me. And it always has been, even though I have been caught up in some craziness. And even that I can understand, right? So if, again, like you're looking for Jesus, but you're, caught up in some dark stuff you're not comfortable, you're trying to get away from. I've been there. And I've been there as a believer, right? So I get it. Well, it just hit me that Jesus came to me, right? Like Jesus came to me. He came and met me where I was. Now, I'm not saying I'm Jesus, not even at all like Jesus. I wish I was more like him, and I try to be like him. But it's the essence of that. I realized last night that the reason I go to where you are is because Jesus came to where I am. And all of those things that I had to go through, that Jesus met me in, that God met me in, was the one. He comforted me in all of my tribulation. And why did he do that? I'm going to cry and I'm sorry. But he did that. He met me where I was and comforted me and guided me through my tribulation so that I could comfort you who are in trouble with that same comfort. And oh my gosh, my mind was blown, and I am so grateful because I'm doing exactly what I was supposed to be doing. So if you need a coach, if you're looking for guidance, I offer different programs, and I always try to make it affordable. But above all, if you need help, please feel free to reach out anytime, and I will meet you where you are, the same way Jesus met me where I was so many times. You are all a blessing, and I am so grateful for each and every one of you.